Veldrin here again, and I'm back, and now I'm going to bring you some battle reports from the Nordic Championship, the nationals for the Scandinavian countries, which took place in Uppsala, just south of Stockholm. And this is a round 3 game, and I will soon talk about the lists. They're going to pop up here soon because there's overlay, which we used during the stream, and we're just waiting for those. But as you can see, we have a 2-ship build on the left, which is, I think, Boba Fett and Bossk, versus what looks to be 2 jump masters, contracted scouts, and a party bus, which is the Trandoshan slaver. And it looks like the player on the right here, who we will soon know who it is fortressing slowly in the corner there, wanting the enemy to come to him. Boba Fett and Bossk, they hit hard. And if they can combine fire on one of the jump masters, they can do a lot of damage before the torpedoes are coming off here. So we'll see here soon. The player on the left, who is soon to be revealed, moved Bossk up slowly, 2 straight, I think, and then we have a 3 straight with Boba Fett here, setting up a nice flanking maneuver, so he could bank in, and then he could bank to the left next turn, going into the debris at the center of the board. Both players have made a good job here, setting up a very nice open space for them to fight in. It's probably thinking here about, should I bank or not? Will there be range to that scout? Because the scouts do not have any focus token this turn for using Deadeye. So if you do, and if there is range, you will not be taking a torpedo shot back. And I think he is going for it. Gambling on there just being range for Boba Fett. And no, so there was no range, so that was cut, and now we're into the second round. And while we do that, we can see the names, at least of the player on the right. On the left there's a lot of light, so we can't see the white text. But we have Jonas on the right, and he is flying a contracted scout with Deadeye, plasma torps, extra munitions, overclocked R4, intelligence agents and guidance chip, and he's got one with Deadeye Proton torps and Boba Fett, that in case he gets that crit in, he can take out one of the enemy's upgrade card and guidance chips. And he's got the Trandoshan slaver with Dengar, Proton and Zuckuss crew, which is the party bus. Okay, there is no text for the guy on the left yet. It'll be there soon. So Boba Fett is going here head on with the scouts. He did not try to go into the debris field, which he could have done, but that would have been taking him out of the fight next turn maybe, and Bossk would have to go at it alone. So the play on the right, Jonas, he bumped with the slaver. It's a smart tactic to slow his approach, since it only has this hard 3 turns white to rely on to get around, especially after you use Zuckuss crew and you accumulate some stress. And this time there are focus tokens for the Deadeye elite pilot talent ability for the scouts, but it looks like Boba Fett is just in range 1 there, which means he will get a reroll as well as taking the focus action. And now he is thinking about, I think he's thinking about using Inertial Dampeners on Bossk here, because I know he had Inertial Dampeners. We saw the lists scrolling by. And if he does, because he might not want to go ahead and take the torpedoes into Bossk, so maybe it's better to leave him back and just take everything on Boba Fett, because Boba Fett will have a reroll on his defensive rolls there, and he does have a focus token. So I think that's what he's thinking about here. If you bring in Bossk, Bossk will do some damage, but he will probably eat 2 torpedoes. So, okay, so it's Robin on the left, and he does have Boba Fett with Adaptability, which is skill 9 in this game. He's got the engine upgrade, Bombardier crew, Glitterstim, Proton bomb, and extra munitions, so he does have 2 Proton bombs. and extra munitions, so I'm assuming he actually has the Slave 1 title as well to get the torpedo slot. They probably just forgot to list it. And then he's got Bossk, who has VI, pilot skill 9 as well, 4-alarm Zuckuss crew, K4 security droid as well, so he can get target locks on green moves. He's got homing missiles and inertial dampeners, yes, and I think that's what he is thinking about here. He has been thinking for a long time, but I guess he wants to make sure that he either avoids the torpedoes or get far enough so he won't eat both. But he does have a 2 in his hand. Maybe that was one of the Boba Fett move. Well, this is going to be an important call here. I think stay out. If you pop the inertial dampeners, take out the torpedoes out of the equation here, and the next turn you will be so close that no matter where the scouts go, they will not be able to use the torpedoes on Bossk, and probably not on Boba Fett either. Because if Jonas's party bus is out of range from Boba Fett as well, Boba Fett is only eating 3 red dice from one of the scouts and 2 red dice from the other one. And he's going to do 4 versus 2 on the top scout there. So I think if he's certain about that, I think popping the dampeners is a good call. Because if he's indeed doing it 2 straight otherwise, which he has in his hand, he will take 2 torpedoes to Bossk, and I don't think he wants that. Well, he's fiddling the 3 straight even, but I think that will still keep him in torpedo range. I don't think he will close to range 1. Well, it'll be close, but the scouts also are not evenly positioned, so he might be in torpedo range of 1 and range 1 of the other, which is also not a good place to be when you're a YB666 with only 1 green die. Well, he is taking his time here, and well, it's going to be an important call. And as I said, I think, yeah, pop them, avoid the torpedo shots. Yeah, there's the stress token from inertial dampeners, and he does turn the card over. So no more inertial dampeners. So let's see if he's out of range and if this was the best call. But I think it is. So he's got 2 ships at pilot skill 9 here. So okay, he's popping Glitterstim. Oh, it might have been an evade token as well. So he might have been planning this all along to have the evade and pop Glitterstim as well. Okay, I thought it was a focus token, but yeah, he's out of range with Bossk, and he looks like range 1. Yeah, so he's not taking any torpedoes at all this turn. So I think this is it was the right call from Robin here. And I guess Jonas did a good job of making him a tough call as well there. So we're rolling 1 from Boba's ability. And those white regional dice are horrible. No, it looks like he was a focus token, and then he just decided to pop the Glitterstim anyway. Yeah, of course, you need the... Okay, yeah. So it doesn't really matter. It looks like he's not taking any damage at all there. He didn't remove any shields, did he? And the range 1 attack back is 3 hits with the focus token. Spending that for taking 1 shield, I think, from Boba. Hard to see because of the white light. So the overlay... Okay, he did lose 2 shields on one of the contracted scouts there. The one that I shot first. And now we have the second one shooting here. Looks like 2 hits. And looks like 2 evades, or maybe some of them were eyes, but eyes work perfectly when you have Glitterstim. And they added an extra set of extra munitions there to the contracted scout that they forgot in the overlay. And there was no range from the slaver, so new turn here. And I think this was the best possible outcome from Robin here. because now he can move past with Boba Fett or hard turn in to these scouts, and he can just close in behind with Bossk to do some severe damage here on one of the scouts before he can shoot. If both can concentrate fire on the one that took damage last turn, they could potentially kill it. It has 7 hit points left total, and it's the one that's slooped. And I'm assuming there is a focus token somewhere very, underneath, beneath the ship. And they are doing the railroad tracks there, trying to put the bump in the right position. And as long as both of them agree, it seems nice. And he did a zero move, it looks like, on the slaver. And Bossk is moving up just nicely there for range 1, 4 dice into the back of the damaged scout. And it's a green move, so he gets the K4 security droid to target lock, and then he takes a focus action. So 4 dice, focus, target lock, and he's got Hulam and Zuckuss as well, so that the odds are pretty good for that being 4 hits going through. And there's the one bang from Boba Fett, and looks like he has arc on the same scout as well, and he will have range 1 from at least one of the scouts, so there's 1 reroll, both on offense and defense. And he just might be in range 1 as well, so he's not taking a torpedo back if the slooping scout survived. It's kind of tricky to see here from the angle exactly how far range 1 is, but he might be in range 1 of both of them. And he takes the focus action. And then we're into shooting here, so let's see how much damage Robin can do to... okay, here we have, let's see, it looks like we're just range 2. Or maybe not. It was awfully close either way. Okay, let's see how many dice he's rolling here. It's 3 dice, so it's range 2. And it looks like he is, it looks like 2 hits and reroll 1. So he's going to have to spend the focus there for 3 hits. And blanks. So shields down, which means potentially 4 hits, and if there's a crit from Bossk, which could be turned into 2 hits, he could take the scout off the board before it fires on Boba here. And he's gonna have to spend the target lock, I guess. And there's another symbol, and he's going to use the focus. So I think it's 4 hits. And he's also going to spend 4 lam to make sure he can't use focus on defense here. And there's 1 blank and 1 evade, and he has to reroll the evade. And it looks like he rerolled it into another evade. So he should be at 1 hit point left. 2 damage from Boba and 3 from Bossk. So 2 hit points left. So he's shooting the torpedo here into Boba Fett. Rerolling 1 on the defense here. So it looks like he's going to take all shields. So no more shields on Boba, I think. And then we have a range 1 shot from the turret on that scout on Boba as well. That looks like just 1. He has no focus since he bumped. And he evaded that. And then we have the party bus. 3 on 2 on Boba Fett. And he's going to reroll with Dengar here. So it looks like 2. So he's going to reroll the evade, and then Boba Fett is going to reroll the other one from his ability. So he's going to take 2. So he's down to 4 remaining hit points here on Boba Fett as we go into the next turn. And we have the intelligence agent here. He's checking Bossk's move. You really want Bossk to bump into the really damaged scout here, because Boba Fett has the hard turn to the left here to get away. And Boba does have engine upgrade, so hard 3 in a boost will take him pretty far away if he wants. That party bus is going to do some damage at range 1 otherwise. So we have a hard 2 to the left with the damaged scout, the one that is at 2 hit points left. And if Bossk is turning left here, bumping into it, maybe it's a good call here, or you could barrel roll back. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, he is indeed barrel rolling. Maybe he should be. Well, he knows what Bossk is doing. We don't, because we didn't see the dial. So maybe that's a good call. And then the other guy is going in behind Boba Fett here. Looks like a bump, maybe. Yeah. So sliding him back slightly there. And then we have Boba Fett and Bossk. There seems to be... he's going to drop his bomb here. So Proton bomb number 1. And he was about to remove his scout there, but it's not going to explode yet. So maybe that scout is indeed at 1 hit point, but I think it's at 2. I will see. So that's a very well-placed Proton bomb. So the question is, do you want to stay close here, get a reroll from the slaver and get a lot of red dice out your back, or do you want to go away so you know at range 1 to take less shots from the slaver? The scout has no focus, so there's no risk of a torpedo. He is thinking about a boost here, or a focus. He decides to do the boost, getting out of range 1 from the party bus. I think that's the best call. However, it's going to be a long way around here because of those asteroids and debris fields in the upper part of the map. It's going to make it take some time to get back in the game here. At least he can shoot at least this turn. And then we have a bump. He's actually running his own Bossk into his own Proton bomb. But this means if the injured scout is taken off the board, he bumps the scout. It'll only be slaver versus Bossk. And Boba Fett can also shoot the slaver here. So he could actually really chew through the shields on the Trandoshan slaver this turn. And the green move gives him a target lock, even if he bumps. And he decides to put it on the scout. And then he didn't bump because he took an action as well. So he actually fit. Okay, I think he would have preferred. Yeah, it was only at 1 hit point. I think he would have preferred to bump there. So 1 crit goes through to the other scout. And 1 goes to Bossk. And let's see if they're going to update the overlay here with the actual crits taken. We'll see. So we're going to have a shot first from Boba Fett. Looks like just range 2, I think. So I think he's going to concentrate fire here So Boba into the slaver. And I have no idea what the white dice show. And then we have Bossk. Okay, he's going to go for the range 1 into the scout. So he's going to spend the target lock. And he's going to spend his focus, so he's going to be at least 4 hits. And that looks like maybe 1 evade. So he's going to flip 1 crit into 2 damages instead, two points of damage. So that means probably shields down and maybe a second damage into the hole. I think the crit was a double damage since he's now at 2 hit points left. So that was a good round of shooting from Robin there. Avoiding the torpedoes was the right call. That made everything in this game here. If the scouts would have gotten their torpedoes off on Bossk or Boba, they could have taken one of them down in the second round. So, damage into Bossk. And then the slaver is also shooting here. Looks like 2 here, maybe 3, since he's not using Dengar. And Boba Fett rolls blanks, it looked like. So I think Boba is down to 2 hit points. And then we're on to the next turn here. So the slaver is going to move slightly forward here. Green bank to the right, which means he might block Bossk to not take any shots from him, and depending on how quick Boba moves, he might be able to have a range 3 shot. And then I think this could be a sloop here. And this scout does have 1 torpedo left, I think, maybe both. But I'm pretty sure that Bossk is hard turning to the left here, or at least banking, so he would get into range 1. Try to kill that scout before he shoots the torpedo. And Boba Fett is going to drop a proton bomb here. Do some damage to the enemy slaver. Then he's just going to get out of here quickly. Because he should be at 1 hit point. And I'm suspecting a boost here as well. Indeed. Both players have, tried to do their best, given the circumstances. I think the choice at the beginning to Dampeners, the Bossk move, was the clutch move here, the one that actually set up the entire first engagement in Robin's favor. And now he's just keeping up the pace here, not slowing down, just pouring damage in with Bossk, because Boba Fett can kill most of the other stuff if Bossk has taken it down to 1 or 2 hit points by the time Boba re-engages here. So even if he loses Bossk, kills the scout and just do some real damage to the slaver. This should be in Robin's favor here, and Bossk is still at. He's taken a double damage and 2 shields lost, so he's still at 8 hit points. And he will probably kill the scout now. Target lock focus from him it's just so much damage. And I guess he's going to spend the target lock for the last roll there. And he's going to use his focus. So it's going to be 4 hits. And he might forlam the focus here. And no, he spent it and he's still dead. So it was 4 hits. For 2 hits wouldn't help. So yeah, I think that's the deciding factor here. Since this slaver here will do some damage to Bossk. But next turn, Bossk will shoot again. Dengar for 2 rerolls. And spinning the focus for 3 hits. And he's still not into shields, or still not past the shields of Bossk. Except for the Proton Bomb double damage that Robin did to his own Bossk there. So this should be back to dials. And Boba can just come around. And let's see if these... that's a nice move. He's going to stay still here. And hope Robin's Bossk overshoots. If he's turning to the right, he's still going to have arc. So first of all, we have Boba Fett. Yeah, that's a really fast bank. Probably a boost as well, so he can get in that gap between the debris and the center asteroid. Next turn. So the question is, will his Bossk be in a position to do some real damage in this turn? And then hope Boba Fett can finish off the slaver. He did go 1 straight, so he has no shots. So this is still a game here. So the slaver is just going to pour 4 dice into the back of Bossk. Looks like a hit and a crit, and using Dengar. So 2 hits and a crit, maybe 3 hits. And impossible to see how much he's going to take. He's going to take 1, 2, and then a crit. So I think Bossk should be down to 1 hit point. Okay, so let's see how he's going to do here to try to get or prevent taking more fire from Robin's Bossk here. So he's going to do a straight, running through the debris and into enemy Bossk. And that looks like an eye. So should be no damage. And then he is going to do, or with him I mean Robin here. Okay, something about the dials here. I think he's saying he mixed them up. So he put them the other way around. And if they have the maneuvers, they should be allowed to do them. So I guess he put the fire spray dial on Bossk. And the YB dial on Boba. So he's doing a 3 bank Bossk. Taking the focus. Did he run over the debris or he just missed it? And he's also doing a 3 bank with Boba Fett. So he did... Oh, he did 3 banks, but in the opposite directions here. So yeah, okay. So he's going to take a target lock here. And he's going to have range 3 shot at the slaver, and then he's probably going to die. Taking shots back. Spinning the target lock for 3. And looks like 1 evade. So 2 shields. The slaver should be at 3 shields left. Shooting back. And nothing. So he's going to use the Dengar reroll, and he scores only 1. So maybe Boba Fett could actually live. No. Only eyes and blanks. So 1 damage goes through and kills Boba Fett. And now it's going to be an end game of Bossk versus the slaver. And Bossk is at 1 hit point left maybe here, I think. According to the overlay at least. And I think that's correct here. While the slaver should be at 6 hits and 3 shields. And behind, almost behind the enemy Bossk here. But it is stressed, so it can only hard turn 3. So he might bank. And then Bossk can do a hard turn 3 to the right here. So maybe that turn really screwed up where he misplaced the dials. Maybe he wasn't supposed to do that move with Bossk. And with him, I mean Robin here again. So maybe that's... okay, no damage from the debris. And then we have a hard 3 here, I guess. No, he's actually doing a hard 2. And since he doesn't have any stress, he can't do that. And he wants to ensure having shots, which I think he will now, thanks to that slower turn. So he needs to do some real damage here. And I don't think he did, because he has no target lock and no focus. Nothing on the evade side, so he takes 2 shields. 3 shields, actually. There were actually 3 hits, I thought it was just 2. However, I think the slaver is going to kill Bossk now. So Dengar and 3 hits. That's the game. So Jonas wins, and kind of sad if Robin lost here just because of that move. But I don't think he lost just because of that, because both of his ships were at 1 hit point left, and the enemy slaver was hadn't taken any damage. So I think he would have needed to do some more damage on it initially. He had a good opening there, Robin, and there just was too much hit points to chew through.